All the while, a dark presence watched, waiting hungrily. "At last the time has come," a voice whispered from the shadows. "The cycle of life I've been destroying for ages is within my reach again." Unaware of the dark path Kiran was leading her down, Aziza gave up parts of her identity, becoming a vessel for Kiran's teachings and rituals, like an endless spinning vortex. Aziza was feeling confused and worried. She liked spending time with Kiran, but the strange things he said scared her. One day, she decided to talk to her brother Raj about her feelings. "Raj, I'm worried," Aziza said. "Kiran talks about strange things, and it makes me feel scared." Raj listened carefully. "Aziza, you need to be careful. Sometimes people can seem nice but have hidden intentions. Trust your feelings." Aziza nodded. She knew she had to be careful. That evening, she went to visit Kiran again. He was sitting by the fire, his leg still healing. "Kiran," Aziza said, "I want to know more about the things you talk about, but I'm scared." Kiran smiled gently. "Don't be scared, Aziza. I'm here to help you." But Aziza couldn't shake off the feeling that something was wrong. The next day, she decided to go back to the jungle where she had found Kiran. Maybe she could find some answers there. In the jungle, Aziza followed the broken branches and disturbed leaves until she found the spot where Kiran had been lying. She looked around carefully and noticed something shiny under a bush. It was a small golden amulet with strange symbols on it. Aziza picked up the amulet and felt a strange warmth in her hand. Suddenly she heard a rustling sound behind her. She turned around and saw an old woman with kind eyes and grey hair. "Who are you?" Aziza asked, holding the amulet tightly. "I am Mama Tola," the old woman said. "I have been watching over this jungle for many years. You have found something very special." Aziza showed Mama Tola the amulet. "What is this?" Mama Tola smiled. "This is the Amulet of Truth. It shows you the true nature of people and things. Be careful with it, for it can reveal things you may not want to see." Aziza thanked Mama Tola and returned to her village. She decided to test the amulet on Kiran. That night, she went to visit him again, holding the amulet in her hand. "Kiran," Aziza said, "I found something in the jungle today. I want to show it to you." Kiran looked at the amulet and his face changed. His friendly smile turned into a sneer. "Where did you get that?" he demanded, his voice no longer gentle. Aziza stepped back, scared. "I found it near where I found you." Kiran's eyes turned dark. "You shouldn't have touched it." Aziza realized that Kiran was not who he seemed. The amulet had shown her his true nature. She ran out of the hut and went straight to Raj. "Raj, Kiran is not who we thought he was," Aziza cried. Raj listened carefully. "We need to protect our village, Aziza. We can't let Kiran hurt us." Together, Aziza and Raj went to the village elders and told them everything. The elders decided to confront Kiran. They went to his hut with Aziza and Raj leading the way. When they arrived, Kiran was gone. The hut was empty, and there was no sign of him. Aziza felt a mix of relief and fear. Kiran had vanished, but she knew he would return. Over the next few days, the village prepared for Kiran's return. They set up guards and watched the jungle carefully. Aziza kept the amulet close, ready to use it if needed. One night, Aziza had a dream. She saw the river keeper again, standing by the river. "Aziza," the river keeper said, "you are the rebirth of an ancient goddess. You have the power to protect your village and defeat the Time Weaver." Aziza woke up feeling stronger and more determined. She knew she had to face Kiran and stop him from hurting anyone. The next evening, Kiran returned. He stood at the edge of the village, his eyes dark and angry. "Aziza, come with me," he demanded. "You are destined for greater things." Aziza stepped forward, holding the amulet tightly. "No, Kiran, you are not who you seem. I will not let you hurt my village." Kiran laughed. "You are just a village girl, you cannot stop me." But Aziza felt the power of the amulet and the strength of her ancestors flowing through her. She raised the amulet and pointed it at Kiran. A bright light shone from the amulet, and Kiran screamed in pain. "Leave us, Kiran," Aziza said firmly. You have no power here." Kiran disappeared into the jungle, defeated by Aziza's courage and the power of the amulet. The village celebrated Aziza's bravery. They knew that she was special and that she had protected them from great danger. Aziza felt proud and strong, knowing that she had fulfilled her destiny. But she also knew that this was just the beginning. There were many more adventures and challenges ahead, and she was ready to face them with courage and strength. Aziza's victory over Kiran had brought peace to her village, but she couldn't shake the feeling that something was still out there, waiting. She often thought about the time weaver mentioned by the river keeper. Who was this evil entity, and why did it want to stop her? One morning, as Aziza was walking through the village, she noticed a strange man sitting by the river. He was tall and wore a tattered robe. His face was hidden under a hood, but his eyes glowed with an eerie light. Aziza felt a shiver run down her spine. Curious and cautious, Aziza approached the man. "Who are you?" she asked. The man looked up, revealing a pair of piercing eyes. "I am Obi," he said in a deep, calm voice. "I've come to warn you, Aziza. The Time Weaver is very powerful, and Kiran was merely a pawn." Aziza's heart raced. "What do you mean?" Obi explained. The Time Weaver is an ancient being who controls time and can twist destinies. Kiran was sent to weaken you, but there are worse things to come. You need to prepare for the true challenge." Aziza listened intently. "How can I prepare? What should I do?" Obi smiled. "You must seek the 3 sacred stones of power. Each stone will give you strength and knowledge to confront the Time Weaver. But beware, finding them will be dangerous." Aziza was determined. "Where can I find these stones?" Obi handed her a map. "The stones are hidden in 3 different places. The Stone of Wisdom is in the Cave of Echoes, the Stone of Courage is in the Forest of Shadows, and the Stone of Purity is in the Temple of Light. Follow the map and stay true to yourself." With the map in hand, Aziza set off on her quest. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but she was ready to face whatever came her way. Her first destination was the Cave of Echoes. It was a dark and eerie place, with strange echoes bouncing off the walls. Aziza carefully made her way through the cave, using her instincts to guide her. After what seemed like hours, she found a hidden chamber with the Stone of Wisdom glowing on a pedestal. As she reached for the stone, a shadowy figure appeared. It was a guardian spirit of the cave. "To take the Stone of Wisdom, you must answer a riddle," the spirit said. Aziza took a deep breath and listened to the riddle. After thinking carefully, she answered correctly. The guardian spirit nodded and allowed her to take the stone. Next, Aziza journeyed to the Forest of Shadows. The forest was dark and filled with strange creatures. The Stone of Courage was hidden in the heart of the forest, guarded by a fierce beast. Aziza had to use all her courage and cleverness to overcome the beast and retrieve the stone. Finally, Aziza arrived at the Temple of Light. The temple was a beautiful place, filled with golden light. The Stone of Purity was held high in the temple's inner sanctum. To reach it, Aziza had to pass through a series of trials that tested her purity of heart. After successfully completing the trials, Aziza claimed the Stone of Purity and felt a surge of energy and clarity. With all 3 stones in her possession, she felt stronger and more confident. Returning to her village, Aziza was greeted with cheers and celebration, but she knew that the real challenge was still ahead. The Time Weaver would not give up easily. One evening, as the village was preparing for a festival, a dark storm rolled in. The sky turned black, and a chilling wind swept through the village. Aziza knew that the Time Weaver was making his move. The storm brought with it strange creatures, monsters from another realm. They attacked the village, causing chaos and fear. Aziza stood firm, using the power of the 3 stones to defend her home. The Stone of Wisdom gave her insight into the creature's weaknesses. The Stone of Courage gave her strength to fight, and the Stone of Purity protected her and her people from harm. As the battle raged on, Aziza faced the Time Weaver himself. He was a dark and imposing figure, his eyes filled with malice. "You think you can stop me?" he roared. "I control time itself." Aziza stood tall, holding the stones high. "You will not defeat me," she declared. "With the power of the stones and the strength of my village, I will protect my people and stop your evil plans." The Time Weaver laughed, but as he attacked, Aziza used the power of the stones to counter his every move. The battle was intense, with both sides clashing fiercely, but Aziza's determination and the power of the stones began to turn the tide. Finally, with one last burst of energy, Aziza used the stones to create a powerful barrier of light. The barrier trapped the Time Weaver, preventing him from causing any more harm. Aziza felt a wave of relief as the storm and the creatures vanished. The village celebrated Aziza's bravery and the defeat of the Time Weaver. She had protected her home and fulfilled her destiny, but Aziza knew that her journey was not over. There would always be new challenges and adventures ahead. With the support of her family, friends, and the power of the three stones, Aziza felt ready to face whatever came next. She had grown stronger and wiser, and she knew that she was prepared for anything the future might hold. And so, Aziza continued her journey, knowing that she would always have the strength of her village, the guidance of her ancestors, and the power of the sacred stones to help her. Her story was just beginning, and she was ready to embrace the adventures and challenges that lay ahead.